Seconds more. Thank you. Jai Baba. Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thanks to beloved Baba and Jai Baba to all of you. We are reading Flowing Conversations with the Awakener by Bal Natu. We are on page number 58. And the title is
Nothing is a trifle.
Nothing is a Trifle.
One day, I was rearranging my room as everything seemed in such great disorder. My chest of drawers and the bookshelves had been in a jumble, and it was hard for me to locate the things I needed. So I just emptied out my shelves onto the table and bed, and now the whole room was a mess. Feeling confused, I was wondering where to put the book I was holding. At that moment, you appeared. Seeing you, I felt a bit embarrassed but delighted. You laughed cheerfully at the chaotic sight. This charmed me, and my confusion slowly disappeared like the mist at sunrise. I greeted you and offered you a chair. What's the matter? You asked me. Oh, I'm feeling a bit muddled, I said. What is the book that you're holding in your hand? You asked. It's the book I have been reading this past week, I replied. Surveying my room, you asked, why do all your books look so dog-eared? It seems that the more you use a thing, the less you take care of it. Well, I'm afraid you're right, I mumbled. Shouldn't you show consideration for the things you use, including your books? That makes sense, I responded. But is it giving you some sense? You joked. Perhaps not, I laughed. Then, to justify the clutter in my room, I explained. I'm afraid I chose the wrong time to do this rearranging. Had I known that you were coming, but is this not the right time for me to visit? You interjected. I want to know, are you ever fully aware of how you pick up the daily newspaper and flip through the pages? Or the way you fold it back up and put it away? Or even how you handle a mug of cocoa and then put it back on the table? You paused and then added, through greater mindfulness, these trifles may open for you the beauty in ordinary things which had previously eluded your attention. For instance, you may begin to appreciate some tiny, beautiful design on a cup or a tablecloth.
All right. I think so aptly the author is reflecting our own lifestyle, how we sometimes get into a shamble, we don't know where things are, and we bring out everything from the drawer and it's all in a mess and stuff like that. And the more we use a thing, the more careless we tend to become connected with those things. So that is basically, I'll just reread it a little bit quickly. All right. And then again, the whole zeroing down or zoom on is that even in the minutest of things, we are expected to be mindful. Even in the smallest of things, we are expected to invite His presence. When that is there, then a certain you can say vibratory change happens in you. We alter our being, and even the smallest things we do with a lot of attention, mindfulness and care. That's what Baba is coming to. So I'll just read out. Nothing is a trifle. Nothing is that, oh, it doesn't really matter, it's so insignificant. Nothing is insignificant. Everything has its own relative importance. One day I was rearranging my room as everything seemed in such great disorder. Most of us are in that state many a times. My chest of drawers and the bookshelves had been in a jumble, and it was hard for me to locate the things I needed. So I had just emptied out my shelves onto the table and bed, and now the whole room was in a mess. So much like all of us may be going through. At least I have gone through this process, and once in a way, what we do is what I do. Soumya is that way more meticulous. I have a system called left to right. So I jamao, I collect everything on the left, unmindful of what is there, and one by one I pick it up and give it a place or attend to it rather than putting it back. And so from left to right, when everything comes from left to right, that means everything is in perfect order, everything is placed well. So at that, feeling confused, I was wondering where to put the book I was holding because everything is in a mess, everything is here, there, everywhere. At that moment, you appeared. Seeing you, I felt a bit embarrassed, but delighted. We do feel embarrassed when our house is in a shamble and all of a sudden some guest arrives, we do feel a little embarrassed and, so the same thing. Of course, your Baba is the divine guest who keeps coming or every now and then. So he felt a little embarrassed, but delighted that you came. You laughed cheerfully at the chaotic sight. Again, the beauty of Baba is that he makes light of everything that is, difficult or embarrassing or whatever. He makes it very light. Whereas we make a mountain out of a molehill. So he converts it into some light-heartedness. He converts it into a humor. He converts it into something, jane do.
But
Don't,
furthermore, be attentive.
of course, that is that. We'll come to that. Yeah. This charmed me, and my confusion slowly disappeared, like the mist at sunrise. I greeted you and offered you a chair. What's the matter? You asked. Oh, I am feeling a bit muddled, I said. What is the book that you're holding in your hand? You asked. Again, here we can see Baba's intimate concern about each one of us. He was so intimately concerned about everything that was happening in everybody's life. When he was in the physical ministry, that was the feedback that we get, that he knew everything about everybody. Of course, he did ask, but then he knew it. It's the book I have been reading this past week, I replied. Surveying my room, you asked, why do all your books look like dog-eared? Dog-eared is we fold the book, where supposing we read halfway, so we have got this habit of folding the edge of the page. So that is the dog-eared. Why is it that all are dog-eared? It seems that the more you use a thing, the less you take care of it. It seems that you seem to be careless about the things which you use so much. Well, I'm afraid you are right, I mumbled. Shouldn't you show consideration for the things you use, including your books? Again, here the thought process is that we must show consideration for everything that we use. That makes sense, I responded. But is it giving you some sense? You joked. Perhaps not, I laughed. Then, to justify the clutter in my room, I explained, I'm afraid I chose the wrong time to do this rearrangement. Had I known you were coming, so he's saying, wanting to continue something. Baba interrupts and says, but is this not the right time for me to visit? You interjected. I want, I want to know, are you ever fully aware of how you pick up the daily newspaper and flip through the pages? So here Baba is emphasizing on awareness or mindfulness. Do you, or you just do it unconsciously, sort of, as a matter of routine, as a matter of a robo, automatic, on autopilot, so to speak? Do you, okay, sorry. I want to know if you are ever fully aware of how you pick up the daily newspaper and flip through the pages, or the way you fold it back. Do we fold it back the way we have opened it though? We just throw it somewhere. Or the way you, sorry? Soumya does. Soumya does. But we don't get newspapers. We don't read newspapers. Or the way you fold it back and put it away, or even how you handle a mug of cocoa and then put it back on the table. You paused and then added. Through greater mindfulness, these trifles may open for you the beauty in ordinary things which had previously eluded your attention, which had escaped your attention. You were not very attentive to such minute things. It eluded your attention. For instance, you may begin to appreciate some tiny, beautiful design on a cup or a tablecloth. Is that all? Okay. So here again, the emphasis is on being very mindful and alert and aware of what we are doing by paying attention to and taking cognizance of the minutest of the things. But importantly, with him as our companion. And then the things automatically get changed.
But I get so caught up in what I'm doing, all the details are lost in the blur of getting the job done. I confessed. Just try to focus on remembering me in whatever you do. If it is not possible to do this all day, then start with a certain activity such as breakfast or working in the garden. This practice of wholehearted attention will deepen your mindfulness in all your daily actions. Nothing is a trifle. That reminds me of a quote that impressed me immensely. I said, "What is it?" you asked. Trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. Good memory, but know well that any heartwarming thought or song that awakens noble feelings in someone is the result of the blossoming of my presence in that person's heart. I am the source.
Great. But then as usual, the excuses of why we cannot be what Baba wants us to be. But I get so caught up in what I'm doing, all the details are lost in the blur of getting the job done. It becomes blur, obscured, the hurry burry curry, as we say, hurry burry's curry of getting the job done. I forget to pay my attention to the details. I confess. Just try to focus on remembering me in whatever you do. If it is not possible to do this all day, then start with a certain activity. See, Baba is so practical. Okay, you may not be able to remember me all the time, but you select certain activities of your life. Like, let's say, Baba says having a breakfast, or watering your plants, or tending to your garden, or whatever, or watching a TV, or whatever it is. So you make it a habit, if not for all the 24 hours, for all the time, at least certain activities when, or taking a bath, or whatever, I will focus my attention on Baba's remembrance, on Baba's presence with me. When I'm taking bath, I will do this, or whatever that we can select those activities. So when that habit gets formed, then gradually we can expand the time limit. So okay, this activity now, this, because then the original activity, it becomes so spontaneous to remember him. Then we add up to those activities, as a result of which it could happen that all through the day we are able to invite Baba to participate in whatever we are doing. Just try to focus on remembering me in whatever you do. If it is not possible to do this all day, then start with a certain activity, such as breakfast or working in the garden. This practice of wholehearted attention will deepen your mindfulness in all your daily actions. So gradually it will increase and cover up all the daily actions. Nothing is a trifle, nothing is insignificant, nothing is so useless that you don't need to pay attention to. That reminds me of a quote that impressed me immensely. I said, "What is it?" you asked. "Trifles make perfection." That means it is the small things that lead to perfection. As we say, bund bund se samandar. So it is the drop which makes the ocean. So trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. Perfection is not a trifle. Perfection is not something insignificant. So that is the quote which the author remembers. Trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. Baba says, good memory, but know well that any heartwarming thought or song that awakens noble feelings in someone is the result of the blossoming of my presence in that person's heart. I am the source. That means if somebody is doing something, a song or some good thought, and that affects the other person positively, that there is a feeling of of pure love for Baba or for anything. That means any noble feeling that comes to anybody's heart is only because of Baba's presence in that person's heart, because Baba says, I am the source. He is the source of all.
Then you agreed with the statement, I take it, I said. I noticed a twinkle in your eye as you continued. The smaller the chore, the greater the possibility of forgetting to offer it to me. But if the most ordinary actions are offered to me, results await you. This sounds awfully time consuming. I guess it means the important things I usually attend to will have to wait. Be careful. By calling something unimportant, you are creating disorder in this most orderly happening called life. If instead you divide all your activities into small, potent units, then you knit a beautiful design for me. We both smiled at your wordplay, and then you continued. The smaller the action you dedicate to me, the more intense can become your focus on me. A baby learning to walk concentrates fully on each step. It falls and then gets up and tries again. The baby's mother encourages her child by beckoning it forward. I am the divine mother.
Small portion. So when Baba said that I am the source, the author is saying, then you agree with the statement, I take it. The statement was, trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. I noticed the twinkle in your eyes as you continue. The smaller the chore. Chore is the routine task, and sometimes the task which we may not even like. It's a burdensome task. It's a monotonous task. It's a regular task. It's a routine task. It doesn't require any expertise to do. So Baba says, the smaller the chore, the greater the possibility of forgetting to offer it to me. Because it is so routine that there is a possibility that you may forget to offer that small chore to me. But if the most ordinary actions are offered to me, great results await you. In one of the earlier sessions, much earlier, we had done, that you offer things to him, big things to him, and then small, and then smaller, and then even the smallest of the small, we are expected to offer it to him. So here Baba says that if you cultivate the practice of offering to me even the smallest of the chore, then Baba uses the word, great results await you. If you do that, it is not just that the big thing you will offer to him, even the smallest of the small, we are supposed to offer it to him. This sounds awfully time consuming because it is very time. See, the point is, we all think like that, okay, I have to think that, okay, Baba, it is you doing. okay, Baba, now you have done, I am offering. But once it becomes spontaneous, there is no time, waste of time. The author says, but it is too time consuming, you see, awfully time consuming. I guess it means the important things I usually attend to will have to wait because the smaller things I am offering it to you. So your Baba is advising that there is no such thing as important and unimportant. There is no such thing as trifle or something which is very much important. Baba says that everything is woven into a beautiful, a play, and everything is having its own place and its own importance. So do not divide your life into important and unimportant. The supposedly unimportant things are also very integral link between the two important, so-called two important things. And if you remember me throughout, then you will see great results. So here Baba says, be careful. By calling something unimportant, you are creating disorder in this most orderly happening called life. In other words, what Baba is trying to convey to each one of us is that life is the most orderly happening, howsoever otherwise it may appear to us, that it's not going well, it's creating a lot of hiccups, there are lots of ups and downs and all that. But according to Baba, it's a most orderly happening called life because everything that happens in life happens because of a cause, happens because the law ordained that, happens because you need to face that happening. So even though it may be the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is very integral, a part of this orderly happening life. So Baba says here, again I'll repeat, be careful. By calling something unimportant, you are creating disorder in this most orderly happening called life. If instead you divide all your activities into small, potent units, potent would mean powerful, full of force, effective, potent units, then you knit a beautiful design for me. In other words, Baba is trying to say, in my understanding, would be that give importance to every moment in your life, give importance to every happening in your life because nothing happens by chance or by accident. It is happening because it has something to teach us. It has some some learning for us. And once we are open to that learning, then automatically we don't need to face the similar situation again and again because we have learned the lessons and then we move on. We both smiled at your word play and then you continue. The smaller the action you dedicate to me, the more intense can become your focus on me. A very powerful sentence. We may focus on Baba on the important occasions of our life. Something very important. You got a new job, you got a new wife, so obviously you got a new mother-in-law. So such important occasions you do focus. Whatever, you open a bank account, you open this, you got a new job, whatever. There you are focusing. But your Baba says that the smaller the action you dedicate to me, the more intense can become your focus on me. That means it is in the smallest of things that we get the maximum of benefit by focusing on Baba rather than keeping the focus separately only for big things or what we call as important things. A baby learning to walk concentrates fully on each step. We have seen that when the baby starts walking, or for that matter, when we start cycling, we are very focused. Or when we start to learn how to swim, we are very focused. And immediately we may not do it. We may falter and fall. But still we are so focused. Why? Because there is a beckoning from some place. If it's a cycling, your father may be holding the seat or your mother may ask you to walk, come, beta, come, like that. So in other words, what Baba is saying, a baby learning to walk concentrates fully on each step. It falls and then gets up and tries again. The baby's mother encourages her child by beckoning it forward. I am the divine mother. In other words, the walk, it is such a small thing in a sense, walking. But afterwards we find that, oh, it's such a commonplace thing. So here Baba says, I am the divine mother and I am beckoning you to focus on me, to invite me in the smallest of things. And if you fall, and if you falter, and if you forget, and if you miss out, it doesn't matter. Start again, start again, start again. That's how I would interpret this particular last few lines. I think you read this, no?
Feeling your love for me as my divine mother, I was touched by your ever present support. Still, I admitted it may be hard for me to remember you in all I do. Do not turn your regular activities into drudgery. Instead, silently transform them into notes of a tune, glorifying my love, and repeat or sing them in silence. This will synthesize chores into delight and lift the burdens weighing on your mind. Do you remember the tune Whistle While You Work? This is a game of joyously feeling my participation in whatever you do.
Paragraph by paragraph. The daily chores, they are tedious, they are troublesome, they are boring, they are routine. So Baba says, bring some life into that, pep them up. By the so-called example is given is that you sing along with that, or you make it more interesting, because ultimately it is the mind which will make those chores tedious, troublesome. There's a word used over here, drudgery, or it is the mind which will make it full of vibrancy, full of joy, full of sprite, springy. You see? So basically, what Baba is trying to convey is my interpretation, that when you invite Baba into your life, then even the smallest of the chores become very vibrant, because there is this energy of Baba in us, and then instead of being a drudgery, instead of being very tedious and boring and troublesome and routine, it takes a different turn, and you start enjoying even those chores. Feeling your love for me as my divine mother, I was touched by your ever-present support. Baba is always supporting, always uplifting. Still, I admit it. It may be hard for me to remember you in all I do. Do not turn your regular activities into drudgery, which is the tediousness, troublesome, bothersome, into drudgery. Instead, silently transform them into notes of a tune, glorifying my love, and repeat or sing them in silence. So when we bring Baba's presence in our life, then automatically those very chores which were a drudgery would convert itself into a tune. In other words, it would convert itself into something which is very
Listen.
pleasant. Yeah, very pleasant. This will this will synthesize chores into a delight. Means it will convert. See, the basic thing is it will transform these chores into a delight. The basic thing is our attitude of the mind towards everything in life. If the attitude is fine tuned, I am always going to be happy. I am always going to enjoy everything that I get. Then, irrespective of what the external, outward thing may be, you will always be in a joyful mood. Why? Because you have fine tuned the mind in such a way that everything that comes to you, it filters through the filter paper of happiness, joy, bliss, whatever you call it. It comes through that, and therefore you will feel happy about it. So here Baba says that it will transform them into notes of a tune glorifying my love and repeat or sing them in silence. This will synthesize chores into a delight and lift the burdens weighing on your mind. The burden is on the mind. The lightweightness or lightheartedness is always also in the mind. It is the mind and mind and mind that makes a monster, or that may make a heaven out of hell or a hell out of heaven. It's like that. Do you remember the tune Whistle While You Work? This is a game of joyously feeling my participation in whatever you do. What is the game? Life. Life is a game of joyously feeling my participation in whatever you do. So once we, as I always say, enthrone him in our heart, in our being, once we joyously bring him into our being, then everything automatically changes.
But sometimes I so dislike my job. I fall into a slump and it's hard for me to come out of it. I complain. All right, don't try to eat the whole cake in one bite. Ingrained habits do not easily change. They form the fabric of your subconscious. Many blame the mind for old habits, but it is not really at fault. You have to befriend your mind, not condemn it, and then it will help you to overcome your habits. When the mind consents and willingly cooperates, you become more and more free of its bindings. This is not easy, so don't be disappointed. There is always a ray of hope if you open the shutters of your heart to me. Every moment contains a hidden life spring of bliss. If only you can unearth it.
So beautifully here Baba says, in a way, that we are all slaves of our habits, of our tendencies, and we are goaded and controlled by the samskaras through the mind, right? So Baba says, do not condemn your mind. Never condemn yourself. Never condemn your own actions. Never condemn your mind. Befriend your mind. Become a friend of your mind. Talk to your mind and say that these thoughts, these feelings, these emotions, these actions are not helping me at all. So, uh, okay, I'm distracted by a thought which came as a WhatsApp message this morning. I'll read it out to you later. So do not condemn it, befriend it, and talk to it, and see that how you. The moment the mind realizes and becomes your friend that these actions are harmful, it will stop bothering you. The message that came was, words to the effect, I can read, but that doesn't matter, that the past will give you a call, that the past is calling you. Do not answer that call because it has nothing new to give you. Got my message? So past has nothing new to give us. The past is only the same repeated. Uh, oh, Swami is showing me this. Yeah, correct. When your past calls, don't answer. So beautiful. Three lines, but so potent. When your past calls, don't answer. It has nothing new to say. Past has nothing new to say. So why do we keep on rotating the past in our mind and spoil our beautiful present as well as the future?
Lessons of the past.
Lessons of the past is a different thing. Yeah. But here, what basically lessons of the past are already ingrained in us. You see. But here, what they are trying to say is that the past is going to hoodwink you and carry you somewhere else. Hijack you is the correct word, right? Hijack you. All right. So here, all right. So he says it's very difficult for me. 1 minute, huh? But sometimes I do dislike my job. I fall into a slump. That means you just collapse helplessly. I don't like my job. And it's hard for me to come out of it. I complain. Baba says, all right, Don't try to eat the whole cake in one bite. Baba is recommending go step by step. Just as how earlier on Baba says, okay, if you can't remember me in all activities, you yourself decide what activity you want to remember me. Okay, you are traveling by car, remember me in your car. When you're traveling by a train or a tram or a bus or something, only remember me during those times. So when you break it like this and start practicing that, then a time will come when you will be able to remember. So here Baba says, don't eat the whole cake. You can't do it all at once. Why you can't do it all at once is because the habits and the tendencies of the past, which have been developed over a long period of time, takes a long period of time to be eradicated. Whatever that has taken time to develop and manifest will take time to be eradicated. Of course, Baba's grace, Baba's blessings can do it in a jiffy, but by and large, that is how the law functions. So Baba says, all right, don't try to eat the whole cake in one bite. Ingrained habits do not easily change. That means fixed habits, established habits, habits which have come across not only in this life, over a long period of so many lifetimes. It not easy to change. They form the fabric of your subconsciousness. They are the very fabric. They are the platform. They are the given. You see, how can you change that? Many blame the mind for old habits. We always blame the mind. Baba says, but it is not really its fault. It is not the mind's fault. It is our own actions which have woven those samskaras and habit patterns, and mind is simply projecting it out. You see, you have to befriend your mind. You have to befriend your mind. Make him a friend. Make it a friend. Not condemn it. And then it will help you to overcome your habits. Mind itself will help you to overcome the mind. It is its own undoing, so to speak. When the mind consents, that means gives its consent, okay, and willingly cooperates, you become more and more free of its bindings. That means the key word here is befriend your mind, talk to your mind, explain to your mind. These habits don't help. But it may be anything. Say anger. I just blurt out and blare up at any given point in time. And now I know that it has spoiled my relationship with XYZ, or I have lost the job because I said something to my boss, or whatever it may be. So now when I talk to my mind and say this habit is not serving me. It is of disservice to me. It has made me such a rotten person. So now I want you to help me to control that particular habit. And once the mind consents and it cooperates with you, then it will be, you can easily come out of those habit patterns. This is not easy. So don't be disappointed because it's a long habit. There is always a ray of hope if you open the shutters of your heart to me. That means again here Baba says, whatever you may be doing, talking to your mind, befriending your mind, open the shutters of your heart to me. In other words, invite. Every moment contains a hidden live spring of bliss. Every moment has that, but it is hidden. All you need to do is to manifest it, is to undo the hiding place, undo that particular spark from its own hiding place. And we can do it with the help of the Lord Himself. Sorry, every moment contains a hidden life spring of bliss. If only you can unearth it. That means only if you can uncover it. Only if you are able to disclose it as to how it works. So every moment has the hidden power of bliss. I felt buoyant.
I felt buoyant. Your presence was so inspiring. How do I tap the spring? I inquired. Did you not share with me the trifles make perfection? Don't you recall that? If you do anything wholeheartedly, the next step will be revealed to you little by little. This can be a game of both challenge and delight. I do try. but my thoughts often impede my attention. Let your unwanted thoughts be washed away in my remembrance. But it is not your remembrance also a kind of thought? I asked. Yes, it is. However, it can serve the purpose of lifting you beyond all thoughts. How? I asked. I'll tell you a story, you responded. In the old days, a villager was walking through a forest on his way home. During his journey, a sharp thorn became in his foot. It was very painful and he could not continue walking, but he did not know how to remove it. Suddenly, he got an idea to pick a bigger thorn from the bush and using its point as a needle, he removed the thorn from his foot. Then, throwing both thorns away, he merrily continued on his way. Similarly, my name can be used to pick out all the thoughts rooted in the mind. Later, like camphor that burns itself out, my name ushers one into total silence of the mind. All thoughts are consumed in the fire of longing to know me as I am.
So, in other words, using thorn to remove a thorn, using Maya to bring us out of Maya. That's what Baba had said. The perfect masters do that. They indulge you in certain things which are apparently not correct, not good, not right. But the whole idea is to just get away, to just exhaust those samskaras in the presence of the master, so it doesn't bother you when you are alone. So that kind of thing. So here again the same thought comes, that for example, Baba has said another at other time, worry is a waste of time and worry doesn't mean anything. But if at all you must, and Baba also said that it is in the makeup of the mind to worry. And then Baba says you cannot annihilate mind with the help of mind, which is what we are supposed to do. Then Baba says because the because the innate, inherent makeup of the mind is to worry. Then Baba says, if at all you must worry, let it be how to remember me constantly. Because that is a worthwhile worry which will bring an end to all worry. In other words, we are using the mind's attributes, its own mechanics, in order to overrule the mind itself. So same thought is, these are all the thoughts that come. So Baba says, let the thoughts about me remove all the other thoughts. So that's the whole uh, sum and substance of it. All right. Where is it? I felt buoyant. Your presence was so inspiring. How do I tap this spring, that spring of bliss which is there, hidden in every moment? I inquired. Did you not just share with me that trifle makes perfection? So you start somewhere, start small, start in small things. Don't you recall that? If you do anything wholeheartedly, the important word here is wholehearted, which means with your full being, honestly, sincerely, no hypocrisy, no show business, no dhung, nothing, wholeheartedly. The next step will be revealed to you little by little. This can be a game of both challenge and delight. Elsewhere, earlier, we had done this, that every little aspect of spiritual knowledge that we put it into practice, into life, into action, will open the door or will shed light on the next step. You cannot expect to get the entire roadmap all at once so that now you know, okay, now I know where to go. No. Baba says the most important thing here for the gross worldly people like us is action. So once we take an action which is what we call as spiritually matured, or that which pleases Baba, or that which is taken in his name through his, let's say, presence in us, when that happens, it will give us a light to the next step. And then you take the next step, and the next and the next and the next, not the whole pathway in one go. So Baba says here, if you do this wholeheartedly, the next step will be revealed to you little by little. This can be a game of both challenge and delight. It's a challenge, obviously, to walk the Baba way is a challenge, and also it's a delight. I do try, but my thoughts often impede my attention. Impede would mean, you can say, hinders my attention. It stops my attention. It comes in the way of my attention. Let your unwanted thoughts be washed away in my remembrance. Now, my remembrance is also a thought, you see. So then the author says, but is not your remembrance also kind of thought? I asked. And then Baba says, yes, it is. However, it can serve the purpose of lifting you beyond all thoughts, using the thoughts to go beyond thoughts, using the what was the thorn to remove the thorn, using Maya to bring us out of Maya, using the mind's attribute of worrying to come out of worry. Why? Because we are worrying not to forget Meher Baba. So that is the mechanics which Baba is giving us the key, the clue as to how one should conduct oneself. How, I asked. And then Baba gives that story about a person who is walking in the forest and the thorn goes and he picks up another thorn, and with that thorn, he removes that thorn and he walks merrily back home. That's all. I am thankful to you for giving me this new perspective on remembering you in all that I do. What is the new perspective? That if you are disturbed by your thoughts or feelings or emotion, when you invite him in your thoughts, then this will lift you above all the other mundane thoughts.
Good, you replied. Now I hope you will delight in rearranging your things in an orderly way that will be helpful to you. Thank you for your encouragement. Your manner of telling stories is marvelous, and your choice of simple words deepens the profundity of your statements. With a renewed sense of gratitude, I animatedly put together this verse that I shared with you. Nothing is a trifle. Everything that happens holds a deeper significance. Bless me to remember you in every activity, for then all life will exude your fragrance. It seemed you liked my amateur attempt at poetry, and your countenance glowed with an endearing smile. It made me happy and even proud, and I smiled back at you. After a moment of this loving exchange, you turned and left the room. With a ripple of joy in my heart and new insight, I returned to my work of rearranging the books on my shelf.
Okay. There was one more thought process which I have not covered up here. This is covered. Suddenly got an idea and bigger. Then throwing both the thorns away, he merrily continued on his way. So similarly, my name can be used to pick out all the thoughts rooted in the mind. In other words, when we repeat Baba's name, when we continuously think about Baba, at one point in time, Baba has said, that think of me so often that your mind is at a loss for any other thought, of any other thought. That means our mind should be so flooded with Baba's thoughts wholeheartedly, with joy, that no other thoughts have got any opportunity, any chance to enter into our mind. But here it's a different thing. What Baba says is, like, my name can be used to pick out all the thoughts rooted in the mind. Later, like camphor that burns itself out, my name ushers one into total silence of the mind. Camphor burns itself out. In the same way, when we are continuously, constantly, wholeheartedly, honestly, sincerely having thoughts of Baba, then these thoughts will not only remove all the other mundane thoughts, but even this thought of Baba will be burnt out like a camphor. There is no vestige of anything left, no thought at all. Like camphor, how it burns itself out. And then what will remain? There would be absolute silence. That means even the thought of Baba, which was used to drive away all other thoughts, that thought will also not be there, and there would be absolute, complete silence in his. In other words, see, the words used are, my name ushers one into total silence of the mind. That's a very high state where there is absolute silence of the mind. You don't even have the thought of Baba to, to throw away the other thoughts. All thoughts are consumed in the fire of longing to know me as I am. So all even the thoughts are consumed in the fire of longing to know Baba as I am. That's what Baba had said, that we start with, let's say, whatever you call it, passion or pleasure, and then happiness, and then joy, and then bliss. And at the end of the journey on the sixth plane of consciousness, all these desires, cravings were there at all levels. At the fag end of the journey on the sixth plane, the peer is called a peer in Sufi terminology, has the experience of seeing God in everyone and everything. And there is a longing, a burning longing to become one with the beauty of the Lord. There's a longing. But Baba says even that longing has to be given up at the fag end of the journey. And then only what will result is union. So you're exactly the same thing Baba is saying. You are using my name, my remembrance, my thoughts to throw away all the other thoughts. But even that my thought should also be go away, should also finally go away. And what will remain is just silence and the longing to become one with me. I am thankful to you for giving me this new perspective of remembering you in all that I do. Good, you replied. Now I hope you will delight in rearranging your things in an orderly way that will be helpful to you. There was a nice saying which I learned from Soumya. Her daddy used to tell, anything out of place is dirt. Anything out of place is dirt. So a place for everything and everything in its place. Our life becomes very easy and smooth because you know exactly where things are. I'm just sharing something personal, very personal. I have, by Baba's grace, I have a whole library of Baba's books. So I have made a Word document which is what is where. It says the title is what is where, and then first room, second room, third room, fourth room, all that. On the attic, on the left side, on the right side. So it's all low. So whenever I have to look up with something particular book, it's really very difficult to locate. So I just punch in what is where and go to the Word document and I go for find and put that title of the book, and here you are, on the left hand side in the second room, on this side, whatever it is. So everything has to have a place and everything has to be in its own place. Thank you for your encouragement. Your manner of telling stories is marvelous. We have been seeing this, that every example Baba is telling us with a story which makes it so easy and so simple for us to imbibe, understand, comprehend that way. And your choice of simple words deepens the profundity of your statements. With a renewed sense of gratitude, I animatedly put together this verse that I shared with you. So he was enthused to write a small poem. Nothing is a trifle. Everything that happens holds a deeper significance. Everything that is happening in our life, it has a deep significance only if we have the eyes to see what it is trying to teach us, what it is trying to tell us. Why is such a happening happening in my life? If that question occurs, then automatically there is an answer in that question itself. And if there is honesty and sincerity, we will get the answer. It is happening because of whatever. Everything that happens holds a deeper significance. Bless me to remember you in every activity. I think all the prayer for all of us should be like that. That Baba, please we beseech Baba to bless us so that we are able to remember Him in every activity. The more small the activity, the more the remembrance. Bless me to remember you in every activity. For then all life will exude your fragrance. Exude means will give out. Like how a flower exudes the fragrance of whatever rose or whatever. So in the same way, in order that our life exudes the beauty and the grandeur and the fragrance of the Lord, we can only have it if we have put the Lord in our being. If my house gives the fragrance of, say, whatever flower, what flower gives very good fragrance? Mogra. If my house, if I want that the fragrance of mogra should come out of my house, what do I have to do? I have to go and get mogras, or whatever that is called in English, I don't know. Mogra in my house. If I bring mogra into my house, then my house will exude the fragrance of mogra. In the same way, only if I invite Baba into my being, only then the fragrance of his being will be exuded through me. It is not my fragrance, it is his fragrance which is coming through me, because me meaning each one of us, because we have invited him in our life. For then all life will exude your fragrance. It seemed you liked my amateur attempt at poetry, and your countenance means the facial expression, and your countenance glowed with an endearing smile. It made me happy and even proud, and I smiled back at you. After a moment of this loving exchange of smiling at each other, you turned and left the room with a ripple of joy in my heart and new insight. So much of insight Baba has given us in this one little chapter, and in all the chapters that we have done so far. I returned to my work of rearranging the books on my shelf. So here ends the chapter. Nothing is a trifle. And all the chapters are so beautiful. Somehow I feel, even if we make a sort of a drama for the entire book, different chapters, and how helpful it could be for people, for posterity, for people to know such simple truths revealed by the Lord of the universe. Before I end, next Tuesday, we are busy in our personal work, so there will be no reading on the 8th of March. Of course, I will be sending a message through our dear Rakesh Acharya, but just since you are here, I thought I'll inform you. There'll be no session on the 8th. Anybody has anything to ask, say, share? Yes, Ram?
Today is my brother Merchant's birthday, but he's not here.
Oh, how come?
I don't know, where is he? He's not logged in.
No, then in that case, because he's a permanent member of our forum, we'll sing a happy birthday song to Merchant, whether he's present or not. Wherever he is, he will get the sound of it. In his heart. In his heart, he will get it. So let us all sing happy birthday to Merchant. Jai Baba.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
happy
Happy
Birthday
birthday,
birthday.
dear
to
Michael.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
you.
Avtar Meher
Meher Baba ki.
Jai. Jai Baba. Thanks, Ram, for reminding us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
still
Jai Meher Baba. Jai Meher Baba.
need to go. Sorry, somebody is saying something. Yes, Chitranjan ji. Were you saying
I
something?
said, just Jai Meher Baba. I said, Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Baba to all of you.
Yes, Jai Meher Baba.
Next
Jai
time.
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Soumya Cyrus, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Sarkar Meher Baba.
Meher Baba.
Thank
Jai.
you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Jai
Thank
Baba.
you, Baba. Thank you, Baba.